Smart Alec Show podcast.
Smart Alec Show, baby!
I know me and you have talked about this, briefly before in our previous chats, but I wanted to dive back into your story just for, the listeners out there that maybe their dreams to work for ESPN or they're trying to get into sports marketing, whatever the case may be. So what for you started you on this trajectory, man? Like obviously you were a student athlete, but what did you start doing in your time in college that really got you on this path to be where you're at now?
Yeah, not yet. So I was always interested in business and marketing, and especially like just the business side of everything. So I liked marketing a lot just because it's no like set rules to it. Marketing can be very subjective. You can do your own thing with it. It can be as creative as you like, and it's a very kind of like collaborative business. So that was one thing that I always really liked about it. And then, like I was saying, from the sports side of it, once I, ended my athletic career, I wanted to, focus on the business side of sports specifically. So, and that was also around a time where, Maverick Carter and Rich Paul and all these other big names in sports was really starting to hit their rise of fame and their breakthrough years. So I was like, I kept, watching things and reading things like, oh, I want to be like him. I want to be like him. So just started, just reading different things like that. And then from my own personal experiences, just kind of started tailoring everything, that's currently on my resume or just like that I could control and get involved as much as possible and use my connections at school and just kind of in life to really work on the business side of sports. So that's when I interned with, the Ohio State Athletic Department and had a great relationship with our athletic director, Gene Smith, and, was able to, have, some connections and meet some people that worked with Nike. And then that ended up, leading me to an internship with USA Track and Field. Then I had a internship during the school year with IMG and also that athletic department there as well. And just doing a number of things that really, helped me learn the business side of sports very quickly. And then ended up doing a professional development program known as MLT, and super grateful for it, as a number of, some of my older mentors and classmates and different things like that. They did a program previously. So, they mentioned it to me, said, you should look into this, that sort of thing. And super grateful for them. So it was a professional development program. It was over like a year and a half. And it essentially gives you the ability to network and meet companies and just kind of, get your foot in the door before everyone else, especially for minorities, getting minority students just into, positions of power as they kind of, go through their own individual careers. So with that, that's essentially what, led me to my internship with ESPN in 2016. So that was my junior year.
You ran track and field freshman and sophomore year. You're studying. What were you majoring in at the time? Was it sports marketing or what was it specifically?
So at the time, I was a marketing major. I was a business marketing major and got into like the official school of business and all that good stuff. And then after that, just kind of identifying what I wanted to do specifically, and wanted to specifically specialize in like sports and all that good stuff. So picked up or the major in that, and then had a minor in leadership studies and different stuff like
cool.
that.
So at Ohio State, is it like the sports management / marketing that's within the business school, or how does that work?
So it's separate. Okay.
That's
some of the
here at UT too.
Yeah, not yet. Some of the classes, they carry over, or it can count as, dual credits or have, help you with a different minor and different things like that, but still keep you on track. So very similar, but yeah, two different schools.
So we got you're studying that, and then you've got you've been building these connections within the athletic department. You intern with USA Track and Field, IMG. And Now we're on the ESPN part of things, man. So MLT, I don't know if I told you this before, but I was actually in MLT as well. So that's how I actually got the ESPN internship as well. Just like meeting Kari. I don't know if you know Kari from he was in research.
Yeah.
NYC. Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah. Kari's cool, man. Yeah, he's the first dude I ever met from ESPN. He was sitting at the Disney table, and I was like gassed, man. You know how the MLT like networking sessions are, and I was like, man, he looks like a cool dude to talk to. Like I've never thought of working at Disney because at the time I hadn't thought of the correlation like Disney, ESPN, you know. So
yeah. A lot of people don't know that. It's a hidden gem. It's a hidden secret.
Exactly. So I linked with Kari, and long story short, that's how me and you ended up meeting up. This past summer when I was interning with Live Sports. But yeah, man, they're huge in terms of providing minorities with opportunities to get into that whatever space they really want in corporate America, man. But yeah. So that's MLP gang right there, both of us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, but definitely a blessing. Yeah,
absolutely, man. So what was your first role with when you got the ESPN internship? Actually, let's back it up. So you're in MLT, right? What do you do specifically to make sure that you land that ESPN internship, the first role that you had?
Yeah, no, I mean ESPN, or not ESPN, but MLT is all about just being the big word is scrappy. Taking advantage of every opportunity that's kind of in front of you, and stepping out of your comfort zone and really pushing yourself. So for me, it was just kind of conversing with as many recruiters and as many people as possible, regardless if I was interested in the company or not. Using it as practice for the companies that I was interested in, or just kind of establishing a genuine connection, just because you don't know who may know who once you kind of explain what you may be interested in or what you want to do. They're like, oh yeah, I know somebody that works there. I know somebody that works here. And regardless if it's for an internship or not, it could be something that helps you 5 years down the road, whatever the case may be. So that was so essentially, the things that I was doing from that perspective was just reading up on the companies as much as possible, seeing if it was something that I actually wanted to do, learning about the individual roles and kind of like what they were interviewing for, and what actually kind of like piqued my interest. And then from there, just having a nice little elevator pitch put together, making sure my resume was in order. And then just having like some good talking points to have a good conversation going, where it doesn't, you don't feel like a robot, but you're getting the point across of what you're trying to accomplish and do, and what you're interested in. So yeah, it was more so just networking, and making sure you know what you want to do, and even if you don't know what you want to do, you know what you don't want to do. So that's
I think that's important, right, man? Like knowing what you don't want to do. Like for me, I didn't really know what was out there, so I didn't know what I didn't know, right? So it was like, but at least I knew what I didn't want to do. I was like, I don't want to do a role where I'm sitting in Excel all day. That was my thing.
Exactly.
So that was enough to lead me kind of in the direction. But yeah, man, I think those are awesome points, man. So yeah, I think, what do you think? How important is that, man? Because that's something like that's dear to me. Is like, I don't like when I hear people like sounding like a robot. You know what I mean? Like STAR method. Let me like do my elevator pitch like this, answer questions like this, and just like seems like very robotic, and like you can tell when they're like trying to do certain things in the talking point. Like how important is it like for you just to like be genuine, man? And how big do you think that is in differentiating like people who actually make it and don't make it, like when they're networking? Like just being genuine and having a real conversation.
For sure, yeah. No, I mean, the authenticity is one of the most important parts of it all. I mean, obviously, everybody can be, understanding, especially when you're first starting off your career, and they can sense the nerves and know that you're nervous. And even myself, if I'm talking to a younger somebody that's a student now, like I know, because I was just there, 4 years ago, whatever the case may be. So you understand how it is. And yeah, exactly.
I mean, even me doing this podcast talking to you, bro. Like I'm trying to work out the nerves right now. You know what I'm saying?
No, 1,000%. Yeah. So I mean, like it's like it's one of those things that you understand, but like it's one of those, if you can find a good balance of it where it does feel authentic and genuine, and it doesn't feel like you're only talking to this person because you want a job or what they can do for you, and you can just be a human being. It makes the conversation easier on both ends, because it's not forced. There's not as many awkward pauses, and then you're not overthinking or messing up or scrambling over your words because you're like, oh, what am I going to say next? Or you have like this script in your head, and then it's like, if the person doesn't respond how you expected them to, that might throw you off your game. So I mean, it's one of the it's just one of the most important things to do. And it's it's cliche, but it's just be yourself, and remembering, being your authentic self is what got you there. And then if it doesn't get you to, that company, maybe that may not be the company meant for you or meant for you right now. So, you continue to be your authentic self and just go somewhere where, they accept you for who you are and what you're trying to do and what you want to accomplish, and then making sure that it aligns with, everything that they want to accomplish as well.
No doubt, man. Yeah, I appreciate that insight, man, a lot, because I think that's huge, making things less transactional. Like a lot of, business majors or people who study certain topics, it's like everything's transactional. Like, I want to talk to this person because I want to get an internship or get a job or get this connection. You know what I mean? When you take that out of it, it'll become more genuine, and it's actually going to work out better for you anyways. And even if you, like you said, if you don't get the role, maybe it's not the place for you, but at least your reputation's still intact. You're not going to be known amongst people within the industry, and especially in the small sports industry. Like, the one I'm trying to get into and you're currently in, it's like everyone knows everyone, and you don't want to have that kind of reputation, as someone who's just, sleazy or transactional. So I appreciate that, man.
Don't be such a smart aleck.